for my wellness check this morning, and the doctor lowered my blood pressure prescription. So that's a positive. The other day, I was doing my touch, and my knee started itching. So I reached down to scratch it, and my shoulder popped. And I thought, what in the world is that, And then I remembered that the day before I had a pain in that shoulder blade. But ever since then, it hadn't done anything. I mean, it's fine. So whatever it was corrected itself. And last night I did my last touch for the day, and it ended at 9 p.m. and I had no problems going to sleep. So I was very excited about it.
I went outside and went to let the dogs out, and sure enough, it was just wet on the pavement. I thought, wet. It was sheer ice. So I did the cartoon thing where I walked onto it and went, and both legs were high in the sky. I smacked on the upper part of my back. My neck got the brunt of my head hitting the ice, and my hips went wonky. So, and it knocked the air out of me immediately. And it was like, I sat up and was like, it was so bad. So I'm crawling over to get off the ice, and I'm like doing an assessment going, okay, what's broken, because my elbow hit, I don't know if you can see a black and blue mark on it or whatever, but anyway, this is, it's a week now, but I had like almost a golf ball size growth on here because it hit so bad. I really thought, I went like this a couple times and thought, am I going to have shards coming through my skin? I mean, it was that hurting. Well, I said, okay, I hadn't done the touch yet. So I said, okay, I went upstairs right away. I hobbled up, and I just absolutely was like, I was in shock still couldn't breathe. For about 4 days, I couldn't breathe fully, a deep breath out of my lungs because of hitting so hard on my upper back. And then I did a double dose of the touch. I was like, please give me two, my body needs it. And I was saying prayers. And every time I do the touch, I set the intention. And the coolest part is that I feel like I was heard, because right away the throbbing went out. Even though it was getting so huge, the throbbing went out of my elbow. And yet at the same time, I was able to breathe better right away. And then also I didn't have that, that bum, 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 bum in my neck, in my lower back, and my hips and everything. And it just all eased up. And I was like, okay, thank you. This thing really works. Oh my gosh. And it's been relieving everything, which is so fabulous.
Every time I do the touch, it's like I get a real, not hot sensation, but a real warm sensation. And I get goosebumps all the time. So it's working. So I feel good about it. And two, I don't know what it's doing to my back, but I couldn't dance, and I love to dance. And I put a little music, and I kind of just jiggle a little bit. But now I can do the dance. I can't do it very long, but because when I had that bone cancer and they did the radiation, it burned part of my lung, and I had bronchitis on the top end. I danced like for about 10 minutes. I was just having fun.
Whenever I am very focused, say specifically in meditation, just like nothing else going on around, just quiet, sitting with my phone or doing the the Zoom meditation or something, that I really can feel the sensations moving much more strongly, and I get relief from my pain generally within the time that I'm using the touch. Okay. So within the 17 to 30 minutes, or if I extend it or do multiple ones or whatever. So I will get a faster pain relief.
So I started with Hey Y'alls. A lot of mine are dittos. Number one, The blood pressure thing, it still is kind of high, but it's right after the touch or meditation, yet it is not as high as it had been. So that's a plus. My hands and feet, as you, Angela, they start tingling before either the HHS call and or the touch calls. So I'm feeling that even before I get it all set up like you're doing. So yeah, there's that. Then I fall asleep. Now in meditation, of course, during the mornings, I very seldom do, but during the touch at the evening when I'm doing it by myself, 100%, I'm out, and I usually wake up like this with my hands on the phone and then my thumbs on the back, because that's the best for me to hear it and feel it. And then last but not least, being in community choir and being a vocalist, one day we were doing, your warm-ups and stuff. And so they were, okay, inhale, now do the, and guys, I was already up to 60 seconds and I could have gone longer. I know that my lung capacity and my diaphragm is expanding.
I realized that the touch was a lot stronger and that it was, obviously directly working with my brain specifically. Now, when I say this, I don't really know how to exactly explain what's been happening to my body, to my brain, my emotions, everything. It's been kind of very up and down. It's been like a wave. And there's been moments of, okay, I'm good. Other moments where I've had like huge epiphanies and like really big, like very expansive information that I'm able to definitely comprehend without having problems. And I almost want to cry when I say this, because last night and this morning, specifically this morning, I was listening to the touch. Like I've kind of developed a relationship with the touch, and I listen to what it has to say, and it listens to my body. And so, I was working with it this morning, and you guys, I'm like, okay, where are we going? Okay. It was literally showing me nervous system. Okay. Then it brought me to the endocrine system. Then it brought me to the hormones. Okay, you guys. And I know that then it brought me to toxins and heavy metals. And we realized later when we were talking to someone, he said, oh, I've seen that so many times. And what that actually is toxins and heavy metals, but specifically metals. And I kind of went into I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. The touch realized that it needs to clear out these toxins and heavy metals from my body, from my brain, for me to actually get rid of the seizures. So it's like just the fact that it can understand that and read my body and go inside and look and realize this is just a phenomenal experience. And the fact that it's like, it's the most brilliant thing I've experienced, the most brilliant technology, because what's happened is that when you have something that's so hard on your body, it will go to the depths to find out the truth.
Personally, I had a fall down the front steps and managed to royally land on my ankle and the top part of my foot. And I thought for a moment that I was headed to work on cars on the lot. So I was on my way there and I thought, oh Lord, this is not going to be pretty. And I did use the key thing. This is not mine. I'm just going to breathe and move real slow. But I also put the touch on it after I hobbled to the car, put the touch on it. And by the time I got to the car lot 17 minutes later, I was able to put full weight on it. It was freaking amazing. And I was there working for hours. And then I sat on concrete to work on this ginormous gouge on the bottom of this truck. It was like the length of the door. So I was down there for a hot minute. That was a previous no-no, like a big fat no-no. Normally I'd have a stool with me, but I'm just kind of out of practice. It took me off guard to be back out on the lot. So I thought, I didn't speak it, but I was like, after I was sitting down there a while, I'm like, I can't believe I just sat down here like this. And then on the way home, I got in a car accident. At first, it seemed like some things were not quite right, but the touch was just absolutely amazing. I focused on my back. But when I did the touch and focused on my back this morning early, I decided not to make the chiropractor call because I could feel it working on my back and there's no pain there anymore.